So yeah, so welcome to the Dasharo community status. It's a little bit long, but yeah, but I have to squeeze it in like 10 minutes or something. So yeah, so I will try to not waste too much time. So let's keep the agenda. So first of all, just like a little bit about the openness and transparency paranoia related to the topic of even creating this Dasharo user group. Maybe someone in future would like to mimic the same scheme or do something similar. We're tracking everything as a code. You can go to the GitHub Dasharo presentations and you will find everything related to creation of this content. Of course, you can even issue a bugs. So we have some milestones for future Dasharo user group meetings. So if you find a bug in the presentation, please report that to us so we can improve it and make the experience better. Of course, if you have suggestions about like, oh, it's boring or it's too much of this or too much of that, that's also welcome. Please come and issue a bug and let us know about how we can improve. I also make it compliant with open source license. So I just integrated reuse, and you can see that the content is mostly on public domain or CC by share alike license, or Apache, like it's related to the code. If there is any code, there is some code for generation values of stuff. So that's on Apache too. What I wanted to say, what we changed since last time, we added to every repository of Dasharo that open collective link. So if there is anyone wanting to contribute a donation or even like purposeful donation like this one with Dasharo entry subscription for network appliance, feel free to go to Open Collective. The link is on every repository of 3MDeb, and that's what changed. Yeah, about the event and the rules during the event. Typically in the past we didn't record that VPubs, but unfortunately or fortunately, VPubs going in direction of being more kind of organized around demos, presentations, panel discussion, which we would like to preserve. And some people were really surprised when their talks were not recorded. So that's why this time we're recording the talks. So the point is to record just the talk. We're not recording the questions. We're not recording the open discussion, which follows up the segment related to demo or the presentation. Also, we trying to organize better the process of preparing new user group meetings and VPubs, and that's why we have call for participation, and there is always open call for participation for the next VPub. So if you have idea, you can go there and you can just submit there. Of course, sometimes we have too many ideas, too many presentations, and we have to reschedule it for the next time. But at least we have some tracking and some open source platform which is based on Pretalks, which help us organize agenda and whole process of getting the talks. Yeah, this is how it looks like. The Pretalks is hosted on cfp3mdeb.com, and attendees has built-in widget from the Pretalks, and this is how it looks like. And yeah, and in that way we can easily organize events and present those information to you. So what are the plans for the event page, which is vpub.dasharo.com? It looks like the name is a little bit wrong, like the domain name. We want to change it to events.dasharo.com instead of using vpub.dasharo.com. vpub.dasharo.com is kind of too much related with virtual pub. It was such in the past. Right now we're going more into the direction of events because there are also KubeZoid Summit there. There are also other events that we're tracking on that page. And then I hope to have grand unification of Dasharo.com, docs.dasharo.com, and events.dasharo.com in kind of one page that can render the content, show us the content, because right now like those are 3 different pages, and yeah, this could be better. I would like to use GitCliff for release process, so that's another thing to show really, okay, what changed since last event, what we improved. Okay, next thing is I want to show you Dasharo team events roadmap and what we will do. So some of you know that we were at FOSDEM. There should be, we provided their, we delivered their open source firmware dev room. There was a set of presentations there. Some of our employees, some of 3M Dev employees were in other dev rooms showing the presentation. So for example, Timek provided a presentation about securing embedded systems and explaining how you can run FTPM as a trusted application in trusted execution environment. We also have a full roadmap for the future Dasharo user group and VPAPs. So you can also see that we planning the next VPAP at the beginning of the June. Of course, I couldn't place here a specific date because this would be too tiny rectangle. But essentially, like I guess 13 June we have next VPAP and user group. So what is from good news? We get the approval for the presentation on FOSS Asia in Vietnam. So I'm going to Vietnam to talk about Dasharo open source firmware distribution, and we will see if there will be any interesting outcomes from that. Then we also applied for a talk on Zen Developer Summit, which will be in Lisbon, in Portugal this year. And we plan to discuss challenges and status of Trench Boot in Zen Hypervisor. Hopefully, we can show something on real hardware, something with Dasharo, something with proprietary firmware, and really show how Trench Boot works with Zen Hypervisor. Second part of the year will be very busy because there is open source firmware conference at the beginning of the September. Then there is Dasharo user group like after next week. Then next week is Linux Plumber conference, which slightly overlaps with CubesOS Summit, and I will talk about CubesOS Summit announcement later. I also get invitation to Hardware I/O conference to give a training there. Of course, everything is in discussion right now, but maybe I will go there to Netherlands to give that training. Then there is Yocto Summit, which we will probably submit some talks, and then in December another Dasharo user group and VPAP. Yeah, so a little bit statistics. I improved the diagrams with statistics to show better how things going on in terms of resolving the bugs in Dasharo, issues, pushing the code, and so on. So this is how it looks like. We grow 123 bugs. We solved 33, but anyway, we're solving something. We're moving that forward. You see that number of bugs growing, but as someone said, number of bugs does not determine the that does not determine that the product is buggy. It's just showing that we have a lot of active users. They're finding a lot of interesting stuff. They're suggesting new things, and that's very good because we have huge backlog and we can work on this project for a long time, and we can deliver more value, and hopefully there will be even more users that coming to us reporting that. Of course, we have to solve that with every month, and this is what we're trying to do. In terms of comments, it's like quite active period, I would say. It's like we gained like 1/6 of all comments for last over a year. So that's very good. We also gained new contributors to Dasharo issues repository, and the list of top contributors does not change. So I would like to, of course, thank you for all those who contributing so actively. So Wessel, Thierry Laurion, Zirblazer, René, Firminator, and Moriel. Like, thank you very much again. Yeah, you are the best and you are top contributors. In terms of core boot fork in Dasharo organization, in Dasharo GitHub organization, we added 26 pull requests, and you can see that that means we have like over 400 total. The 353 are merged and 96 are closed, and 20 are still open. So we have 20 pull requests open. The number of open pull requests growing, but that also like means that we have more activity, more parallel activity going on, and yeah, and essentially more work. We are more busy, yeah, and I hope like sooner or later we will show gradual improvements in handling and delivering merged pull requests. In terms of upstreaming Coreboot, that's very interesting number that I get. So we essentially have contributed 16,000 lines of code in this since last Dasharo user group. Since Dasharo user group in this December, we contributed almost 3,000. Yeah, so that's how it looks like. The previous time, like the between Dasharo user group 3 and 4 was very inactive, we can say, and right now we kind of getting back on track with kind of, let's say, average 3,000 lines delivered quarterly. It's not a lot. It's very little, to be honest, but yeah, but we have to work on that. So I would like to highlight the difference between Dasharo branch, which keeps like most of our code, and 421 tag of Coreboot, which is already old because we have 2401 right now. So the difference is over 400 files, over 20,000 lines of code. So you see, we have a lot of stuff to deliver, I would say. And we have our upstreamers, people who's in the Dasharo team, who's upstreaming the code. So thank you for Sergey contribution about SMM store. Michał Kopeć contributed support for Lenovo ThinkCenter M700, M900. And Michał Żygowski also contributed some to payload. Of those are like biggest contribution, they delivered definitely more, but I will not mention Apache, which got 1, 3, 5 lines of change. In terms of Dasharo DK2, we added 8 pull requests, 6 are still open, and this is how the growth of the pull requests method and was open looks like. In terms of stuff on GitHub, this is how it looks like. Yeah, especially growing, not growing so fast because of the axis you have just 60, so 60 is nothing in comparison to the numbers on the if it is thousands, multiple couple thousands is a good number, but yes, this is like new project. I don't know how much Coreboot got on the GitHub, but we can compare. Yeah, this is the same. So, in terms of metrics activity, it's like a very stable metric activity, very stable, essentially 1,000 messages per quarter. We gained another 23 users, so like also growing like 10%, around 10% quarter. Fast, of course, at the beginning, but kind of separating. And yeah, and of course, I would like to thank more active contributors. So Zipladder, Collector, Hanece, I don't know, I don't know how to spell that, Demi, and Teofil. Yeah, and of course, this is excluding 3-step employees. Yeah, this is how we're growing for measuring at the point of the user groups. Yeah, and just the most active channels are a random channel. There is everything there. There's even for some people there may be even offensive stuff there. So just for those who don't care so much. There's activity there, a lot of links there to the news. There is support channel which is quite active recently, and there is a Dasharo developer VPAP, which is we use for this event, and of course the channel which I mentioned before, the start channel